Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern, July 10th, 2021. Have you ever had, I'd say that we've all had dreams. And we have had dreams that we were absolutely sure that they were real. What if you were unable to wake from that dream? How would you know the difference between the dream world and the real world? How would you know that? What is the greatest dream in this life? Ask yourself, have you asked yourself this? I have at times through this life. Why are you here? To find true love with your soulmate, be financially free, have unending lessons in joy every day? Unending lessons in joy every day. What about having a profound spiritual awakening experience? One which would alter your consciousness so deeply that it would allow you to cultivate a lifetime of deep satisfaction and inner peace. Would this be a worthwhile goal to meditate upon? Most of us on the surface of this planet, and maybe some beneath, are living our entire lives lost in our minds, caught up in a dream. The mind is either wrapped around a fantasy about what we want or a nightmare about what we don't want. The mind is running its mental projector, splattering its ideas all over the world. It is rarely in the peaceful gap that's between the past and the future. That gap we call the here and now. The mind forgets about the gap and how it makes you feel that your essence is beyond space and time. The mind instead gets stuck on thoughts, creating scenarios about the future, processing memories about the past, becoming deeply bedazzled by the dream of it all. And our minds throw us into a whirlwind of ideas each day, some new, some old, yet they all leave us unaware, spiritually unsatisfied, and our souls left reaching for answers. The unaware mind slowly and quietly rips us away from being here now and pushes us towards the edge of insanity more often than we may realize. Once the mind stops believing its inner picture show is real, once the mind stops believing that its inner picture show is real, then we will know, without a doubt, that we are awake. That's crucial. Once the mind stops believing its inner picture show is real, then we will know, without a doubt, that we are awake. The movie watcher will suddenly realize it's sitting in the middle of a dark theater, the mind, and simply stands up and walks out of the theater into the vast light of our infinite beings. When we stop paying attention to the picture show of the mind, there is a deep release and relaxation. There is no more identification with the mind and its thousands of thoughts anymore. There's no more identification with the mind and its thousands and millions of thoughts anymore. So this life becomes very peaceful. The experience is divine, beyond amazing. It's like pure freedom beyond boundaries, knowing ourselves as a supreme consciousness being who is aware of its divine nature again. At one time, we were totally aware of our divine nature, and we got lost in the shuffle of the mind. Consciousness can only observe what undergoes change. That which is eternal cannot be observed by consciousness or known by it. Unless you meditate on this point, the puzzle will not be solved. When we wake up, we find real people inside. We remember that we are not this limited, crazy mind that cannot stop thinking. We get the bigger picture that we are gods who can manifest anything we desire or want. We remember our true nature, and it becomes crystal clear that all these illusions and delusions the mind creates are not real. Then we understand how existence is creating everything through our imaginations. When we learn how to let go of control, when we learn how to let go of control, we gain our natural ability to co-create our lives in synchronicity with this universe. Letting go of control. How often do we say to ourselves, we got to control, we got to control things, got to have to control things. We don't control things, then what happens? Then we get fearful and frightened. We get lost and confused. But we got to be in control of things. Can't lose control. We've heard that so many times. Oh, you're losing control, you got to stop it. Stop it. We learn. This is when we learn to let go of control, we gain our natural ability to co-create our lives in synchronicity with this universe. We begin seeing how every little moment is an absolute miracle. Every tiny moment is an absolute miracle. We stop believing then we are something super duper special on Friday night and just one of the billions of sheeple on Monday. We start to realize the bigger truth, that we are divine creativity, intelligence. Think about that. We are divine creativity, intelligence, and love in action. Divine creativity, intelligence, and love in action. Divine creativity, intelligence, and love in action. We are the source of life itself. When we have realized that we are that which is beyond the mind, we come home and we stop sleepwalking through this existence forever. You really think it's about all this stuff outside of us? This material world, the physical world? That is insignificant. When someone is spiritually asleep, they are unaware that they are lost in the mind. Makes sense, doesn't it? They feel the joy they get from their imagination is more pleasurable than stepping back and waking up from it. They feel the joy they get from their imagination is more pleasurable than stepping back and waking up from it. The sleepwalker is constantly trailing the mind, like a hungry mouse following a trail of cheese. It moves from consuming one tiny bite of cheese to the next, from this thought now to the next thought, and then to the next and the next. It is forever hungry and forever unsatisfied. How can thoughts ever truly be fulfilling and spiritually satisfying? These are questions we ask ourselves. The mind is not aware that there's an option to not follow the next thought. The mind is mainly caught in the outer world, obsessed with it, obsessed with the outer world, waiting, wanting to buy things, get things accomplished, completing today's to-do list. And it is emotionally invested in solving all the problems which arise throughout the week. Yes, and the mind wanders incessantly, and there's really not much you can do about it. Now, we can press our noses up against the movie screen or sit in the last row, and the movie will still continue to play. The mind is just doing its thing. If you have a semi-important appointment in a few hours, the mind instantly starts projecting desires, hopes, and assumptions about how the experience will be. Doesn't it? I think we've all experienced that. I don't think any of us are exempt from it. If you have a semi-important appointment in a few hours, the mind will instantly start projecting desires, hopes, and assumptions about how the experience will be. The mind is a natural strategist, constantly trying to help us survive our lives as best as it can. Hopefully, faithfully, we are aware enough to stop getting hooked into its demands on others and ourselves. There is always another desirable, prefabricated, ideal version of reality randomly generated by an overly active imagination. Unless you become a Buddha, you have not lived at all, because you will not know the great poetry of this life, the great music of existence. You will not know the celestial celebration that goes on, and you will not know the dance of the stars. The bliss, this bliss, is for you. All these flowers, all these songs, and all these stars are for you. You are the Buddha. You are entitled to miracles. Okay. So how will you know? How will any of us know if we suddenly woke up from the dream? What are the signs? People ask me this all the time. What are the signs? How do you know you wake up from the dream? Well, when you are awake, there is no fear anymore, period. It's gone. It doesn't come back. It's gone. You simply realize that you have nothing to fear because you are an infinite being who cannot die. And remember, this means that you are not the body, and you know that completely, faithfully. From this space, you can have no bad relationships, no misunderstandings, for you can only radiate love and have compassion for everyone and every living thing. You simply realize that you have nothing to fear because you, all of us, right in this now, are infinite beings who cannot die. We cannot cease. When you put on a set of clothes, okay, you like the set of clothes, right? You get used to the set of clothes. But then eventually the set of clothes get old and they wear out, right? Now you wish they would be new, but they're not. And eventually you just say, I got to get rid of this set of clothes. You don't fear getting rid of the set of clothes because you know you can always get a new set of clothes. It's no different than the body. Same thing. Same thing. So what this means is from this space, you can have no bad relationships, no misunderstandings, and you can only radiate love and have compassion for everyone and everything on this planet. In the beginning of every awakening, and everybody talks about people awakening, right? Waking up. A lot of people waking up today. In the beginning of every awakening, we heal all inner conflicts within the mind. We stop trying to control, suppress, away from the mind. The mind has retired, and we let it relax. We don't try to reawaken from the dream. We are simply aware that we are not this mind. We watch and we observe how it is continuously dreaming about something. And when we wake up, we are constantly awake. We don't doze off again. We are constantly awake, living as the awareness, divine presence, the conscious God essence that enjoys the play between the dream, the dreamer, and the awareness watching the dream. Waking up is as natural as breathing. It is our very nature to be awake, aware, conscious beings. Being awake allows life to be natural, light, easy, and effortless. It's like floating on a magic carpet, bathing in the light of our infinite eternal being every single day. It's like floating on a magic carpet, bathing in the light of our infinite eternal being every single day. There are no more egoic desires to manifest. There's no more worry. There's no more struggle or effort to make reality different than what it is. You've let go, we all have let go of buying into the mind's ideas about right and wrong, good and bad, and realize that at the core, we are simply love. We are the spirit of love itself. When we are spiritually awake, we are fully alive in our lives. We are devoted to welcoming both our highest and lowest selves who are immersed in the worlds that's here, right now. We are not rejecting any aspect of our nature. We are simply immersed in the dualistic nature of reality, the totality of what is. When we stop being spiritually asleep, there's no machine churning to get ahead anymore. It has won the game. It stopped trying to cover life up with fancy adornments to make it seem better than what it actually is. When we are awake, there is no judgment about anything. There is no rational, analytical personality running the show. The mind is submerged in the essence of pure being and an empty space. Simply here, feeling at peace with what shows up in this life, loving it exactly as it is. In space, anywhere supported. Is space anywhere supported? Upon what does it rest? Like space, Mahamudra, waking from the dream. Mahamudra, waking from the dream. That's what Mahamudra means. Is dependent upon nothing. Relax and settle into the continuum of unalloyed purity. And your bonds loosening. The release is certain. Kalapa. To unravel oneself from a lifetime of being caught in the web of the mind, the first step is being aware of the mind's habit of dreaming about the past and the future. Without judgment or emotion, watch how the mind continuously returns to buying into the illusions it created yesterday. The dreaming machine is much stronger than you think it is, yet not as powerful as your awareness is. Your awareness can burn right through the dream. Yet, you will want to get a firm grip on the mind, and this is done best through practicing meditation. Sitting silent and still, as if you were a solid statue. This will bring the mind into a place of deep inner calm. It can take up to 48 minutes of sitting absolutely still. being deeply silent before the mind becomes completely empty. This inner quietness is the necessary work needed to create the spiritual foundation towards a real awakening experience. The practice is simple. Just watch the thoughts pass through the mind. Observe them just like clouds flying through the vast blue infinite sky above. In the beginning, you may realize all those super important thoughts aren't so important after all. The thoughts seem very real, and you've believed them to be real your entire life. Yet, are they real, really? Perhaps they are just electrons flying through your brain, synapses firing electrical impulses in that massive space in between your ears. Once you are aware that this is what's happening, you start to pay more attention. You begin to direct your attention away from the mind and back to what is real. Once you're able to be still enough at the source of pure creativity, from where all thoughts are arising from, you'll experience a divine basking in the glorious love and light of your own being. As we explore ourselves deeper on this inner awakening journey, we may begin to wonder, what is real? Are the actual sensations of our taste buds firing good flavors more real than if our imagination was creating them? Is our body's sense of touch, sight, and smell, and hearing more real because they allow us to interface with the physical world? We could invent all sorts of brilliant definitions about what is real and what is imagined, and make a varied list of degrees between these two worlds. Yet, for practical reasons, in this spiritual awakening experiment, let us stick to the understanding that what is real is that which does not change. Nothing can be threatened. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Course in Miracles. It is only when you devote your entire heart and being 100% to the grounded experience of what does not change that a full spiritual awakening will occur. It is only when we all devote our entire heart and being 100% to the grounded experience of what does not change that a full spiritual awakening will occur. Now, when we stop to ponder this thought, dive into this understanding with deep inquiry and investigation all day long, something profound occurs. We are bound to wake up from lifetimes of dreaming. When our minds become obsessed and addicted to diving into the mystery of knowing that which does not change 24 hours a day, the veil begins to lift on its own accord. That which does not change or move is the very center of this outrageous cyclone. This universe is a vast ordered chaos of quarks, atoms, molecules, flying in every which direction. Yet look at that which is at the center of it all. Perhaps you're like most people who think they don't have time for this inner exploration. They feel it's not practical or possible given their busy lives of children, work, bills, and mortgages, and traffic jams. The truth is that we can continue doing the same actions we are doing, yet from a more enlightened perspective. We may show up late or early to work, yet we will arrive with more lightness, smiling, and a genuine peaceful interest in what their experience of life is. When we wake up from that dream, life is completely enjoyable. No matter if you're jobless, homeless, broke, and alone, or trading millions of dollars on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, you will find pleasure in being alive. You will realize a deeper enlightened truth inside, and do not allow anything to compromise the peace it brings. For anyone to have full spiritual awakening, for anyone to have a full spiritual awakening experience, they must be 100% committed to it. For total inner freedom to show, we must choose to be willing to experience a deep level of commitment. When you devote your life to something 50%, you can at best understand 50% success. A true spiritual awakening is no small matter, for nothing in our lives will be the same after it has occurred. And of course, we could continue to hold the same job, family, and lifestyle as before. Yet the quality of each of these experiences will be like the difference between driving a 1969 VW Bug and a 2087 Ferrari. Our lives will be completely transformed when we're fully surrendered to living as the awareness of what is real and does not change. This is a profound walk through the forest of desire and temptation. Is to be gentle, gentle, gentle with yourself. Don't expect too much from you. Try not to change too much in too little time. Often when progress is steady and slow, the final change is more permanent. Slow and steady wins the race. And this there isn't even a race. As each subtle shift creates a deeper embedded pattern, making it harder for the mind to slip back into its old unconscious habit. If we start to hit a wall, relax, rest, and be ordinary. A simple walk through the forest can become a pathway to a profound realization. The ordinary things in life, this life, become absolutely extraordinary when there is nowhere to go and nothing to attain. We must have compassion on this lifelong journey to awakening. The sheeple consciousness is a necessary part of waking up, because without first living in the darkness, we cannot truly know how bright the light really is. Life with no darkness is a false state. If we live only in the light, we cannot know what spiritual growth truly feels like. If waking up is going to occur, then we first have to be deeply asleep. We need to be unaware that we are sleepwalking through our lives, unconscious of how we are deeply programmed and locked into certain habits of feeling and thinking. And as we let the dreamer walk out of the theater for a breath of fresh air, we receive a new shift in perspective, and it becomes so much easier for the higher vibrational realities to become embodied and feel more real. Adventure is not outside man, it is within your reality. Be aware that anything that you are forcing yourself to do is not coming from love. It is never healthy to try and push yourself to be dedicated to something you feel you should be devoted to. The utmost curiosity and wonder comes naturally from within. It is quite ironic how it works, yet continuously points your mind back to your highest self, and you will integrate your lower self naturally. If you want a powerful spiritual awakening experience, there needs to be full acceptance of all your selves, great and small. There are only good things coming your way. Life is already rigged in each of our favors. Enlighten your consciousness by choosing to explore. Be an explorer of life, this life, just because you'll have a lot more fun along the way. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we care to do, relax our bodies. That's the first step. When you go into meditation, the first thing you do is relax your body. People think meditation is so difficult. Oh, and it's so boring. And I don't have time to do that. Those are the ones that are sleepwalking. Meditation, like I shared, is that it is complete silence. It is being. There's no script for it. You're just being. Do you think Buddha, Maitreya, any of them were interested in the physical world? No, they were discovering the God within them. They were exploring the vastness of unending. And that's what they spent most of their time doing, meditating. Meditation gives us complete counsel with the God that we are. And anything that you ponder, you meditate. You go into the deep silence, complete stillness. You're not moving. You're breathing, but you're not really moving. This is what you do with the body. You understand that you're not the body, and the body isn't you. Once you really, really, really embrace that and really know it, so you relax the body. This is the pathway to becoming the all-masterful healer of the body. And none of us really have gotten there yet. Some have tipped it, but they haven't completely, fully mastered it. And so few do, because it always seems insurmountable and too difficult to pursue. And there's no pursuing, really. There's just discovering that you already are. So, all of the stress, fear, and anxiety, all of the worry, right in this very moment, this now, the space between heartbeats. If it doesn't serve you the greater good, let it go. It's manifested by the mind. Why would we carry it? We wouldn't. We would just let it drop away. And that's faith and trust in yourself, in the God that you are. Even though it feels really good, but some people just love holding on to it because that's their security, believe it or not. Those are the sleepwalkers. So you let it all go, once and for all. Years of dragging stuff, how you've been treated, what your experience has been emotionally, interaction, success, non-success, poverty, whatever it may be that you drag with you. Bad emotions and memories and interactions with being raised and brought up and interfacing with others. Let it go once and for all. Because I will tell you, if you don't, you never will. You will just drag it with you until you leave the body. So as your body relaxes, move into the now. The mind does not like the now. It wants you to be in the future or in the past, but not the now. It knows that once you stay in the now, you will silence the mind. You will be able to master the mind, even though the mind is an illusion, and its ego friend, the illusion, but you'll be able to master them. They're horrible masters. They're great servants, but really bad masters. So we master them by being in the now. When you move into the now, you are stilling the ego and the mind and the subconscious mind. You're stepping out of them. You're no longer participating in all those thoughts that are running by. You no longer grab onto them. You ever done that? You're from one to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. And the ego mind tries to interrupt you in meditation. It will come in and try to pull you off into other directions, the future, the past. See? But it's being aware of that That's the key issue, that you become aware of it, that we all do. And we're very gentle, very respectful, and loving to ourselves. We all have memories. Those are great, right? We have a box. We put those into memories, like a library in our subconscious mind. So we put those all on the shelves, memories. And we reflect back. Something will spark it. Oh, this remembers me. I remember this as a time when I was this and that, and so on and so forth. But those are memories, and those are great. But the past is dead. It is dead. Have you ever tried to rekindle something from your past? Not fun, is it? It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel the same, does it? About 99% of the time. That's why. Because it's dead. We are constantly moving forward, or we are constantly moving backward. Being in the now, you are moment to moment to moment to moment to moment, space between heartbeats. That's all we do, moment to moment to moment. How does that simplify everything in this life? Immensely. You don't worry. You don't stress. You don't fear. You let it go. It's all superfluous. Do you care to spend the rest of this life worrying, stressing, and fearing about everything under the sun? And then when you don't worry about that, you invent something else. The mind and the ego invent something else that you can shift. Once that worry's gone, you have another one. You ever notice that? It's always that way. This is all about the Great Awakening. Is it great? Well, it's only if you make it great. Some of us will go in the past. We stay there too long. It's dead, remember? It's like an elephant graveyard. Everything's dank and dead. It's inert. It's no movement of air. So we stay there so long that we drag it into a future that doesn't exist. We create that future from that past and relive that past and that future. Well, a lot of people will say to themselves, they seem to end up in the same place all the time, no matter what they do in this life. And I've had people say, what's up with that? Stay out of the past. It's dead. Why would you be in there? Be in the now. A lot of people are afraid to be in the now. I don't care to be in the now. But it's the only place. Some of us will go into a future that doesn't exist. We're creating a future in the now. And we wonder and wonder and wonder and wonder. And then we ask ourselves, when is this going to happen? When is that going to happen? When am I going to have this? When am I going to have that? When am I going to meet this person? And when am I going to get this? And when am I going to get that? And then we have attachments and expectations. You may see something. You may get attached to it. You may get high expectations of it because you want it, right? We've all experienced that. We get so attached to it that when it doesn't come to us, we're disappointed. Sometimes greatly disappointed. And we suffer. You see, it's very, very thin line there. You get excited about something. You can say, wow, this is great. But you don't covet. You don't attach. And watch what happens. Watch what this universe, follows through with. Every time you worry, you're telling the universe what you want. Okay? More worry. Every time you fear, you're telling the universe what you want. More fear. Every time you stress, you're telling the universe what you want. More stress. It's not that complicated. Now is all we have. It is the true power. The moment to moment, the space between heartbeats. That is really all we have, and it is way more than enough. Now, how do we stay in the now? Because you know those thoughts, those clouds going by, those programs, none of us are exempt. We could be focused on something, and then we're floating off somewhere else. And those thoughts aren't even ours. So our breath is divine positive energy. Soul comes into the body. Soul powers the body. Body starts functioning, okay? Body then produces breath, breathing, sustains the body to hold the kingdom of God within it. This is divine positive energy. Focuses us, relaxes us, eases us. So whenever you find yourself wandering off in thought, remember, always be gentle with oneself. Always be kind. Always be generous. Always be humble. Always. No exceptions. When you do this, you say, okay, I'm wandering off. I'll focus on the now and my breath. And I'll be in the now 3,000% of the time. Be amazed at what happens to be in the now. People say, what happens to planning? What happens to goal setting? That's the physical life. Do you think Buddha set goals? Do you think Christ set goals? Do you think Yeshua set goals? No. That's the physical world. That's the distraction. So, you're looking at the body because you're not the body, so you could look at it. It's relaxed. You're in the now. You've stilled the mind, the ego, the subconscious. And you see these wheels of light. Now, they're 7 colors, and it goes from the tip of your tailbone all the way to the top of your head, of the body that you're in. And these aren't, they are physical, but they're not like a block of wood that you can pick up and hold. And they're etheric, they're spiritual vibration frequency. But nonetheless, they're there. And you, the God, flows through them. You are the chi, the power. You're the omnipotent power of existence and pure consciousness and beyond in that body. So you understand that when you flow through these chakras, these energy vortexes, these wheels of light, these flowers, that's how the body exists with the God in it. The God just doesn't sit and do nothing. It's constantly flowing through every part of that body. So you look at those chakras, and what are they? Well, it's not difficult to figure it out. Not at all. You start with the root chakra. It's a red wheel of light. Looks like it's a flower shape. It's got a little geometric shape in the center. And then this root chakra, right at the tip of the tailbone, deals with our survival. What is our survival? Finances, food, shelter. Now, what blocks you, the God, from flowing through that root chakra? Fear. Fear. Fear is a thought. That's all it is. Has no power, nothing. But when you embrace that thought, you move energy into form, you create it into reality, and then you have fear. So you have a group of people, right? They're stranded in the middle of nowhere. They rely on each other to survive, to stay in the body. Any of them that panics will most likely perish and have to leave the body. And isn't that interesting? Fear is an illusion. Then we move to the orange wheel of light, the sacral chakra. This deals with our pleasure, our wonderful sexuality, our intimacy, our joy, our bliss. This is when we are doing things in this life, and it's just absolutely phenomenal. Everything is at ease. It all falls into place. You're not pushing. You're not forcing. It just happens. And you're good with it because you will know then, when those times have happened, reflect on them. That's when you are in your natural state of being. That's all the time. It's not intermittent, but we've been taught that it's only once in a great while. That's the other illusion. But then that voice comes to you, doesn't it? We've all had that happen, haven't we? Where that little voice comes in and says, this isn't going to last forever. So, Mary, you better enjoy it while you can, because it's going to go away. And guess what happens? It goes away. And we do it. So, it's about the guilt. What is guilt? It's another thought and another illusion. Then we move to the yellow wheel of light. This deals with willpower. And that's the sacral chakra, and it is blocked by shame. What is shame? It's another illusion. You move energy into form, you create it in reality. You're the power. You're the power. There's no arguing. That's how powerful you are. You create these illusions, and that stops the God from flowing. So there's blockages, issues. Because remember, you as the God, you flow through that whole body, all the organs, the blood, everything. Then we move to the heart chakra, the emerald green wheel of light. This is our ability to love. And it's blocked by grief. When you're in grief, you're incapable of love. And then we move to the throat chakra. This deals with our truth. And obviously it's blocked by our lies. And then we move to the indigo wheel of light, the third eye chakra. This deals with our insight, and it is blocked by illusion. And then the final, the crown chakra, the violet wheel of light. This deals with cosmic energy, the actual essence and beyond. The direct connection with the divine, you. And of all things, it's blocked by ego attachment. Knowing this through the God that you are is absolutely astronomical on your journey in that body on this planet. So you, the God, all of us, we go to the top of the body, right? And we hover above the crown chakra. It's our omnipotently power, pure, deep, eternal love. It's just immeasurable. And we hold it. We hold ourselves as we compress and condense. We are God. We are one. And we are love. And then we release it over the pineal gland in that body. Now, the pineal gland, when it's absolutely peak health, function, it's very powerful because it connects us to all the particles of existence. It connects us to all the planes of existence, all the extensions of the universes, everything. It's just beyond everything. It connects. So you can see where it's vital that we have it fully healthy, operational. We don't have it yet, but we will. So when we pour ourselves over the pineal gland, you view it in your heart, mind's motion picture. However you see it, I see it as a green ball rosebud. And then me, the God, goes over the pineal gland. It immediately transcends. It is immediate. A fully bloomed rose, massive, multicolored petals, shimmering, sending off wonderful fragrance, and saturating me with these waves of the highest high, the deepest eternal love, gratitude, and peace. Massive. Every single existence and particle of that I am. And I discover that rose is the God that I am. And the God that I am is the rose. It is a reflection of the God within me. And these bodies that we're in, the heart mind, the ego mind, the subconscious mind, the God, the pure consciousness, all one. And we begin to understand, in the greatest of humbleness, without the ego and the mind, through the heart, that the soul is the heaven and the body is the earth. We walk this planet consciously aware that we are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude. So every step we take, consciously aware, we're creating paradise. We're also shining our light 360 degrees, all of us, knowingly, everywhere. It isn't temporary either. It's eternal. So our God force, love, light, energy is flooding everything around us. You could stretch it out past the universe. It's up to you. You're not going to lose anything. Because you are everything. So as you do this, this is a God planet paradise. Why? Because more and more are awakening. And less are sleepwalking. So this is a God planet paradise that glows with 8 billion gods housed in physical form, experiencing every second in the now. Now we reach out to parts of ourselves, so the collective consciousness of the God, that are somewhat consciously aware of who and what they are, to a certain extent. Those that aren't, that are asleep, that are sleepwalking, they're with us, but they don't hear. They don't see. Not yet. So we reach out to all light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. Yet, only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest, the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest, the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light and complete liberation of this planet. Now, and that includes all the ones on this planet, in it, on it, above it, and below it, in this now. They come in the gogaplexes from every direction. One gogaplex fills this universe with no sacred space to spare. They come in trillions of gogaplexes from trillions of universes. Ones on this planet, we're not familiar with many, because the eyes that we have with these bodies only see 1% of what is on this planet. The ones we're somewhat familiar with are the fairies, the elves, the sprites, the dwarves, the gnomes, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, and many, many, many more. And they come to us in shapes, colors, sizes, forms, and configurations in which we don't even see. And in the gogaplexes, they're with us now consciously. You feel that through your heart, mind's motion picture, the vibrational frequency of it. It's massive. We call upon all of the galactics, off-worlders, celestials. Yet, only those that are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest and deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming this circle of light, and the complete liberation of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. And I'm not talking about low-frequency liberation. I'm talking about the highest of the highest high of deep, pure, eternal love liberation, which means we will be in love. Now, we're only familiar with a smidgen of them. Over 1,000 travel through the solar system every day. Over trillions throughout the universes every day. The ones that we're somewhat familiar with are the Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Arcturians, the Andromedans, Felines, Zeta Reticuli, the Nords, the Greys, the Draco, the Reptilian, the Golden Pyramid, the Avian. And even though they're not seen by any of these civilizations, the Builder civilization, now they've been assisting us in our evolution, our enlightenment, our ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. And they are with us now in the trillions consciously. We call upon all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, agartha, and beneath earth. Yet, only those that are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest and deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, and be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light and complete liberation of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. They come in the billions, and they are with us now. We call upon all of our loved ones, all those who ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we have inhabited, yet only those that are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, and be with us in this now, in this meditation, form the circle of light and complete liberation of this planet. And they come in the billions, and they're with us now consciously. You have the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes, the descended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda, Christ, El Moria, Abundantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua, many, many, many more. Now the archangels, their civilization vibrated at a different frequency than we do. We don't see them like we see each other. But they're always around us. And they're always interacting. And they're always delivering the same message, but in many different ways. And the message is, isn't it absolutely magna glorious to be alive in these bodies every single second? It is spectacular. It is phenomenal. And that's bliss. And we love them for that. They're part of us. We're part of them. They teach us as we teach them. They learn as much as we learn. Now, tens of thousands can surround any one of us at any one time. Because of their vibrational frequency, they can hold a large number in a small area. You want them to? Ask them. Be instantaneous. More bliss. Ascended masters have mastered ascension into physical form, out of physical form, hold pure consciousness, God form. We have ascended into physical form, are mastering physical form. We are creating our experiences to perfect our creation. And along the way, some of us will discover that when we decide to leave these bodies, we will know that we are the light. We don't follow the light, we are the light. That's big, important understanding and lesson in this life to learn. We'll all gather, arm in arm, hand in hand, in full compassion, non-judgment, non-negativity, non-ego, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance, and we're all one, and we're all God, and we're all love, and our God force love light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We immediately form a circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now. This light emanates from the gods that we are within these bodies. It is so brilliant that it grays out the darkness of sacred space. It would take 1,000 trillion suns to even come close to its brightness. And this is what we are. The highest of the highest high, of the purest of the purest, purest, of the deepest of the deepest, deepest eternal love. And we are flooding this planet, above and below, inside and out, 24/7. All those who are sleepwalking, all those who are awake, all life, the highest supreme value in the universe, complete ascension into the higher frequencies, as decided and committed lovingly by each and every one of us. As we ascend above this planet, we come in complete contact with a massive ocean of glitter. It is everywhere. And it's just trillions of vibrant colored lights flashing. It looks like a laser show. With the hundreds of millions of us, over a billion of us, on and off world and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, consciously aware. Feel that vibration through your heart mind. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe. And we notice the reflective points. We come close, we see microscopic, perfectly etched mirrors, so we enter them. We discover that we're all teachers and students of each other. We're all learning. All of us. Teaching, learning on this endless journey. It's absolutely spectacular. Always there for us. Always knowing. Whoever we come in contact with, wherever we're at, however we're interfacing, we are learning and we are teaching at the same time. We continue to ascend above the planet, and we are immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that we created that reminds us all that we are the power of healing. We are then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that we created that reminds us all of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We are then met with the white fire. This is a column of light we created that reminds us all that we are imbued head to toe, inside and out, 24/7 eternally, with a white fire armor. This isn't a knight armor, way beyond that. This emanates from the God force love light energy in each and every single one of us. It is impenetrable. It cannot be moved. It cannot be deceived, manipulated, extracted. No demon possession. No possessions, attachments at all. At all, at all. No lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies. If they came even close to us, they'd vaporize. They know it. They stay away. But only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, whether consciously or unconsciously, your hatred, greed, envy, hurry, worry, stress, fear, anxiety, you will create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Now, if you do decide to do this, you're immediately met with two columns of light. The first is the purple transmuting flame. The second is the violet ray. They work together. The purple transmuting flame, this is a column of light that we created that reminds us all that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all of these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they are completely vaporized. They don't exist. The violet ray is right behind it. This is a column of light that reminds us all that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame, cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational frequency to the highest of the highest high and the deepest of the deepest, deepest eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is the column of light that we've created to remind us all that we are the sun, the sunlight. We are the rain and the rainbows. We are the sky and the clouds. We are the sunsets and the sunrises. We are the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams. We are the animals, the soils, the trees, the forests. We are everything, and everything is us. So the next time you view a sunset, a sunrise, an ocean front, a starry lit night sky, it is you. It is each and every one of us. It is all of us. The beauty, the grandeur, the vistas, the spectacularness, the colors, the vibration. It is you. Always has been, always will be, ever, beyond, and forever. We continue to ascend above this planet. Some of us step outside our physical form and hover effortlessly above our physical form if we're carrying physical form. Why do we do this? Because we can. We come into full contact with this massive crystalline light tower of which we created, larger than the solar system. Center of the column is this massive oblong sphere. Center of the sphere is a golden white ball of light. It is surrounded by rings and rings and rings of multicolored light. Now, the golden white ball of light sends out a absolute beautiful wave of shimmering energy that saturates, floods, and bathes us all, head to toe, inside now, nonstop, perpetually. The other rings that fall are the highest of the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, the highest of the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal wellness, wealth, prosperity, abundance, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, joy, benevolence. It's endless. Where is the source of this? The God that we are. It is a reflection, again, of the gods that we are. And this is saturating us constantly. And then at the top, we designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, flooding all of us, head to toe, inside and out, eternally. This is the highest of the highest high and the purest of the purest, purest, the deepest of the deepest, deepest eternal love, of which we are. And we are literally flooding this planet, all life, the highest supreme value in the universes. All of us, head to toe, inside and out, sleepwalkers and awakers. Pure, deep, eternal love. Feel the vibration in your heart mind. See it in your heart mind's motion picture. Now the golden ocean, here drops this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is the drops are the golden ocean. The only illusion is separation. we continue to ascend above this planet. We come into full contact with our meditative sphere. We all created this sphere. Hundreds of millions of us, on and off world, every day for over 3 years. This intent is from the deep eternal love that we all are. All aware, to a certain extent, of who and what we are. And this meditative sphere is flooding us all nonstop, right now, in this very moment. Feel it. See it through your heart, mind's motion picture. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe. Now you can see that there is no way that anything in the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies that can halt, slow, or stop this massive progression of billions of gods on this planet to awakening and awareness that all of us are pure, deep, eternal love. The search for money, power, and prestige is basically to create a fullness of being. But the way to become full is by love, by prayer, grace, by being pregnant with God, available to God, and to all his glory and splendor. You. I'll join you in the meditation, and I'll return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose. Easy breath out through the mouth. Move slowly and easily. Never do any harm to anybody, but never allow anybody to do any harm to you either. Only then can we create a human world. And love contains my whole message. Love yourself. That is the beginning. Then love those who are close to you. Then love the world. Then love the whole cosmos. Only then will we be able to love God, that which we are. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, into the following morning. We'll return here Sunday, July 11th, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2021, to continue our global guided meditation call.